5 seconds. Mr. Speaker, I have been in charge of finance for the last 2 years. Now I may assure the members of the House that we have been able to manage the financial affairs of this state successfully during a very critical period. If honorable members would go through the budget proposals for the previous 2 years, I am sure they will agree with me that we have got over a very difficult period, even if it was necessary to get assistance from the central government also. Honorable members have said that we have not been able to meet their demands in respect of their constituencies and also some other general demands. As I have already stated on another occasion, the things that we have got to achieve are so many and so great that it will not be possible to meet all these demands within a short period of time because those needs have been accumulating for many years. But I should like to add that they can be achieved within a few years. That is why we have now formulated a plan with reference to the resources available and the achievements which we can make with reference to these resources. So, if the Honorable Gentleman has made a charge on the floor of the House that, in spite of the fact that for the last 2 years, honorable members have been making demands in respect of their constituencies, they have not been met properly. I plead guilty to that charge. I would have meant spending further crores of rupees if we had got another rupees 100 crores from the center. Perhaps we would have been able to meet a major portion of the demands made on the floor of the House. We have been able to get on all these years. I may assure the honorable members that we have got over the crisis, and I think I will not be wrong if I say that we are entering a period of normalcy. I hope and pray that in this year we will have a normal year and our expectations will be fulfilled. I am sure that in the next year, whoever is called upon to present the budget, he will have a more comfortable time. I am sure the present sacrifices will pave the way for the future generations. That is my hope, and with this satisfaction, I may tell this House that I have carried on as Finance Minister to the best of my ability. My only prayer is that hereafter droughts and floods may not occur. We cannot prevent these things occurring. Even if they occur, they may not occur on the same scale, and I am sure that our people will be able to face all these difficulties. While we are prepared for the worst, I am hoping for the best. Honorable members will also hope that the future of our state should be brighter and that it should be possible for our people to get at least their essential needs met. That is what we are working for. Still, we have not been able to supply to our people, especially in the rural areas, the bare necessities of life. Still, we are trying our best to work our way through all these difficulties. It has often been said that this is working towards prosperity and it cannot be solved at once or within a year. We have to work hard for a long period so that we may be able to tell our people that we have been able to give them the bare necessities of life at least. In that effort, I would request honorable members to cooperate with the government. Unless we work together, in spite of our schemes, we will not be able to achieve anything in particular. I appeal to the honorable members of this House to develop that atmosphere of friendliness and cooperation in our state and work for the prosperity of our state. When we pass this appropriation bill, I think it is but proper that I should thank all the honorable members for having participated in this budget discussion in a friendly way and for having made constructive suggestions to the government to improve the welfare of the people, and more than that, for encouraging me in fulfilling my task as finance minister and making that task easier. I am grateful to them for that. Thank you, sir, and thanks to the honorable members once more.